Today's episode is brought to you by Patreon. If you're interested in supporting the show, go to patreon.com/JoshuaVelas and become a $2 backer today and get early access to the new episodes. I'll be leaving a link in the description down below, but for now, on to today's episode. You're listening to the Augment Experience podcast. I'm your host, as usual, Joshua Velas. I'm a student, musician, and a gamer at heart. Join me as I sit down every week to talk about all the latest news in the technology, business, and video game world. I hope you guys enjoy. Alright everybody, welcome back to the show. My name is Joshua Velas. I'm your host as usual, and obviously welcome back to the show. Today's episode 240 of the show, and before we get started, we're just going to do a bit of house cleaning quick around here, because you guys don't like to do it around here. It only makes sense that we do it, so let's just get on with the house cleaning. I do want to say thank you guys for coming back and listening to today's episode. It does mean a lot to me. You guys constantly take time every day to download these episodes, to share these episodes, to constantly keep letting me know how you feel, whether you like my stupid face and my opinions or not. And yeah, let's be real, this episode is probably going to get me into some hot water, but that's the whole point of having these conversations and just, hey, let's talk about it. Because yeah, it kind of hits home for me if I'm being honest with you guys. But I do also want to say thank you to the Patreon backers as well for supporting the show. You guys are all greatly appreciated. And hey, at the end of the day, I keep doing this because you guys keep supporting it. So let's keep that train going. I do want to say, at the start, obviously this episode comes out the day before Thanksgiving. So for those that are celebrating Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a wonderful day and time with your family. And let's make the most of it, because there's a lot to be grateful for, to be honest. But today's episode, what are we going to talk about? Yeah, I'm going to be honest with you guys. This one is very divisive, if I'm just being transparent with you guys, because we're going to be talking about Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And yes, if you've seen the previous episode, I talked about how Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was one of my most anticipated games of the year. And personally, it is one of my games of the year. Now, I say that. This game has a lot of controversy because let's be real, there always has to be some controversy with the Pokemon games. For some reason, there always has to be something with these games, whether it be, the Pokédex being cut and stuff like that, and some mons not being returning, or some of the reused animations for the 3D sprites and stuff like that, like transitioning into Sword and Shield and things like that, the detail in the video games and stuff like that. Yeah, this game was not pre-launch controversies. This one was more of, this was a lot of issues that people noticed when the reviews came out, and then people also got their hands on it, which, to be transparent here, the game's pretty rough. I'm being fully transparent with you guys. Like, the main issue that people are running into is the performance of these games. And this is a big issue because this is probably one of the buggiest Pokemon launches we have seen in a long time, if I'm being transparent with you guys. There are a lot of actual performance issues that are noticeable, drop frames, obviously the draw distance in the game, the quality of the textures and things like that, like so many bugs, glitches, exploits, you name it. Everything under the sun, there is something performance-wise wrong with the game. And this is what led to a lot of controversy because, well, let's be honest here. This is very unacceptable from the Pokemon Company. And this has been talked about to death. People have talked about this. They've shared their opinions that, look, it doesn't make sense how one of the most, if not the most, I'd say, revenue generating brand on the planet, like the Pokemon brand itself generates almost $100 billion. That's most than any other media franchise on the planet. And the fact that the quality and that the way that this game came out does not reflect $100 billion of revenue. Like, you get what I mean? Like, I understand some people talk about like, oh, constraints and stuff like that, but it's like, look, guys, this is not some small indie team of like 5 developers trying to figure this stuff out. Like, no, this is clearly a multi-billion-dollar brand that easily can hire people, that money is no option. Like, money is not an issue for them. And the fact that the game released in the condition that it did is concerning. That's just the objective facts here. And people can say, oh, well, this is a limitation of the Switch hardware. And yes, I do agree with you guys, because we've talked about this multiple times. The Switch is outdated. It's already like, we're pushing almost 7 years since the Switch came out, guys. Like, the console's getting there. It's old. Like, it's outdated hardware. It's been outdated even when it came out. And there's limitations. There will be. Now, that's not an excuse, because if we're being fully transparent here, there are games that have been released on the Switch that look incredible. Breath of the Wild is one of them. Mario Odyssey, Xenoblade 3. You've seen games like Skyrim run really good on the Switch. You've seen games that have a tremendous amount of quality. Even Shin Megami Tensei 5. Like, people don't talk about that game that much. Look at the quality of that game in comparison to what we got with Scarlet and Violet. It's almost night and day, if I'm being honest with you guys. And it's just very unacceptable that this happened, because even Sword and Shield was not this bad. And yes, people can say, well, it's a more linear style game. It's not, as big and crazy as, say, as this game was, as ambitious. And people can even look at Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus, yeah, overall looked better and ran better than this game. That's just the facts. Now, did it still have issues? Absolutely. And people still had their issues and critiques with Legends Arceus. But I think there's a very important thing to understand here, personally. And it's the fact that, well, yes, the game is buggy as all hell. There's a lot of flaws here technically with the game. But we can all come to the agreement that if you can get past some of these things and get used to it, the game is fundamentally enjoyable. Like, a lot of the direction that has been made with this game, especially as this is coming from someone that's played the Pokemon games, not since the very beginning, but basically almost my entire life. Yeah, this has been one of the most enjoyable experiences I've had with Pokemon since, I'd say X and Y and Oras. Because yeah, I played Sun and Moon, and I bought Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, but I never really played Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. I played Sun and Moon. But to me, this has been the most enjoyable time I've had with Pokemon in just a long time. Because even with Sword and Shield, like, I thought it was okay. But Scarlet and Violet, it made me feel more hopeful for the future of the franchise. Especially with Legends Arceus. Like, Legends Arceus for me really showed that if they really wanted to do something different, they easily could. And they were more ambitious, because the Legends formula just worked so much better, because it was the first shakeup that we've had with the Pokemon company in a long time. And the fact that they implemented a lot of those changes with Scarlet and Violet, I think was just the icing on top. And it shows that, hey, if they can iron out some of these performance issues, if they can iron out some of these, these big hiccups, and, let's be real, the stubbornness and laziness part, yeah, I think overall we will see a very bright future for the Pokemon games, and a good direction. Because let's be real, a lot of the reviews are even saying the same thing. If the game ran flawlessly, the game would be rated extremely high. It's because of the fact that the actual core gameplay and the actual fundamentals, and even like the new Pokemon, the new systems in the game, are just very enjoyable. It's just a very fun experience. Like, whether it be terrestrializing, obviously, if we're talking about competitive Pokemon, the meta itself is just so enjoyable, because, well, yeah, it's a hyper offense meta. Like, stall is not as viable as it used to be. And granted, I'm also using terminology that's specific to the Pokemon games, like if you play Pokemon. But the fact that a lot of the aspects for competitive Pokemon, for breeding, for making like your competitive teams easier and more viable, like, there's a lot of things here that, there's a lot of good stuff here. And it sucks because there's so much crap with the bugs, like the drop frames. Like, I'm not gonna pretend, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it's kind of annoying. Like I notice it. I see the stutters like a lot. Like, it's crazy, you know? Like, to me, I really wish they didn't rush this out. Like, it genuinely feels like they rushed this game out. I'm being transparent with you guys. I think they really did. And, well, I really wish they did better, personally. And these are a lot of the issues going forward. And I know some people say, well, look, man, the performance issues and all this stuff doesn't bother me. It's not that big of an issue. And it's like, guys, let's not pretend that this isn't an issue. You can say it's not, it really is. Like, it's noticeable. It's buggy as hell. There's glitches galore. And if we're being honest here, yeah, they really should have done better. And it's just very sad. Now, do I recommend that you go out and buy this game? And I think it's very debatable because a lot of people, it's going to depend. If you genuinely care about the core experience and, you know, say if they ever release a patch, which personally, they really should make a patch to fix a lot of these issues because it can be fixed with optimizations and stuff like that. It's just if they choose to do it. Now, will they? Probably not. Let's be real. Like, I don't think they will. You know, I hope that they do, but do I think the Pokemon Company is going to do it? Not really. I think this game's going to sell like hotcakes no matter what. Do I think it's going to be the best-selling game of all time for Pokemon? No, I think, you know, the original Red, Blue, Green, or Red, Blue, Yellow in the United States is still going to hold that title in the States. But I think going forward, I like the changes and the formula that they made with this game. I think the direction that the Pokemon Company is going with the series and a lot of the stuff that was made with this game is really good, personally. Those are just the facts, if I'm being honest with you. Now, I really wish they would get the performance stuff. I wish they would get it right, you know? But that's just me. But let's be real. To me, I'm excited to see what the Pokemon Company does. You know, I really hope that they do fix a lot of these issues, if I'm being honest with you. But at the end of the day, you know, let me know what you guys think. If you played the game, hey, let me know what you think. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Are you having a good time with the game, or do you feel like the performance issues are just ruining your experience? And if not, let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Let me know if you bought the game. Let me know if you haven't bought the game. And we just go from there, guys. Overall, I think, personally, I think it's a very good experience. I am enjoying my time at the Pokemon game, and I'm going to continue to go through it. And I pray and hope that they release some bug fixes and some patches because this game needs it. It really does. And also, let's use it as a reminder, like, hey, let's not try to excuse the decisions made by the Pokemon Company. Let's be real, guys. This is unexcusable. Like, the way that this game released and things like that, it's unexcusable. We're just being transparent here. This is unexcusable. This should never happen, especially for a franchise as big as Pokemon. That's just the facts here. And we just go from here. Remember, guys, you have to vote for your wallets in this case. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as I mentioned before, I know this episode comes out before Thanksgiving. I hope that you guys have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your family, with your friends. Like, I hope you guys just enjoy it. Like, you know, stuff your bellies. Like, you know, if you work out, like, hey guys, you definitely have earned a cheat day to just enjoy this time with your family and your friends. And just make the most of this, you know? But I know I'm gonna have fun with my family. I'm gonna have fun with my friends. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Again, happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, we go from there. And I hope you guys have yourself a wonderful week and weekend. Please don't do anything dumb, guys. Please be safe out there. And as always, you know, try to be as kind and respectful to those around you, because let's be real, the world is a weird place. And at the end of the day, that's just how it is. But yeah, hope you guys have yourselves a wonderful Thanksgiving and a happy time with your family. And I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.
Hey there. Thank you for listening to today's episode. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day and listening to today's episode. If you're interested in supporting the show, whether it be financially, clicking the follow button, or just sharing the episode, it all works for me, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time, and I love you guys to death.